So let's check this out. How did I lose 11 pounds in 30 days? I'm going to be totally honest. This was no BS. This is no clickbait. This wasn't some sort of pill, or I didn't go on a diet. This is exactly what I did. First of all, that's a lot of weight in like a short amount of time. So I freaked myself out too. So back in November, I kind of did this thing where I stopped working out completely. I kind of lost my mind. You can check it out, episode 44. I think it was called like FU Attitude, and it kind of talks to you about what I went through. But long story short, I stopped working out completely for about 2 months. And I've been working out for years, 1 to 3 times a week. Right? I started eating whatever. I started eating randomly, blah, blah. Long story short, man, I weigh myself, and I believe it was beginning of December. And I weighed the heaviest I've ever weighed in my life, 166 pounds. Throughout my life, I was around the 140 mark, like especially in high school, I was 140. When I just got out of high school, I was like 145, but I've never been 166, right? So anyways, I go through December, the new year starts, and it wasn't like it was a New Year's resolution, but I was just in a bad place, and I was like, all right, man, like as soon as like I get back from the holiday break, I want to get back into how I used to be. So there's a couple of things I did. The number one thing I did was I paid attention to my sleep. I started sleeping better. Now you're saying, Daniel, what the hell does sleeping have to do with eating and losing weight? Check this out. There's a hormone, there's something that goes on in our brains, right? Where our sleep schedule is directly connected to our appetites and directly connected to how hungry we are. Studies have shown that if you have a poor sleep, cycle, you're more likely to snack on little things throughout the day, want crackers here, want food there. You don't really feel like eating food. It's weird because you don't feel full, but you don't feel hungry either. So that leads you to just snack throughout little foods throughout the day. As opposed to when you're getting a full night's rest and when your circadian rhythm is in check. And what I mean by that is every day, Monday through Friday, like Saturday, Sundays, whatever, but Monday through Friday, you're going to sleep at a certain time and you're waking up at a certain time. This way, your biological clock is set, right? It puts your body in a certain system. Your mind knows when you're going to be awake, when you're going to be asleep. Thus, it can more appropriately release its hormones. And some of these hormones really contribute to your appetite, how hungry you are. So basically, the better your sleep is, the more appropriately you'll feel hungry. The more appropriately you'll want to have like big meals and like meals when you should be eating them. That's not saying everybody needs to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but that's just saying it'll make you hungrier when you should be hungrier, if that kind of makes sense. So I started sleeping better, right? Then when I woke up, I started to be a conscious consumer. I started to eat consciously. And what I meant by that was when you get so caught up with like work and videos and homework and whatnot, food just becomes secondary. It becomes, all right, I'm going to do this reading, then I'm going to check out this project. I'm just going to grab a bite to eat real quick, 5-10 minutes, and get back on the project. Like you almost dismiss it. It's almost, let me shove something down my throat so I don't die and I can continue working. So I just changed the mindset to like, you know what, man, what is the best breakfast I've ever had? Not in terms of fancy and bacon and whatnot, but just in terms of it's kept me full. And my personal own has always been bread, mayo, spread some avocado on there with egg. Bread, mayo, avocado, and egg. I love that stuff, man. Egg for the protein, it keeps you fueled. Avocado for the fat, the healthy fat, which keeps you full, right? Bread for the carbs, and mayo is on there. Now, what I'll say to people is, I was never on a diet, right? I don't do diets. And here's the thing. Could I? Of course. But would I? Never. I'm not a fan of not eating foods that I like. So I would never say, all right, Daniel, I'm just not going to eat burgers anymore. I won't eat chips or chocolates. Why? Because I love burgers, and I love chips, and I love chocolates. And the number one reason people abandon their diets is because they're saying, hey, this isn't fun anymore. I love eating burgers. If you're accustomed to going to McDonald's once a week, the last thing, again, let me say this, folks, I'm not a personal trainer. I don't know, I barely know anything about the world of nutrition and physiology. This is like just a little bit that I know from studying psychology and its relation to the body. So I want to preface that. There's a chance this stuff might not be 100% correct, so please take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But let me tell you this, from a psychological aspect, if you're used to eating burgers and fries every week, and if I just cold turkey you and say, all right, man, no more burgers and fries, you're done, never. It's not the smartest way to go about it, in my opinion, right? In my opinion, we'd either have to figure out some way that we can replace the burgers and fries that would give you that same satisfaction, or what if we said, hey man, you grab burgers and fries every weekend? What if we can make that every 2 weeks? If we can increase it, so instead of having burgers, let's say 4 times a month, you're having it 2 times a month, we're cutting it in half, right? That's amazing. We're cutting you 100% to 50%, which is amazing. That's spectacular. And I think that's the good way to go about it. So what I did was, with my food, I was a little bit more conscious about what I was eating. I was like, all right, Daniel, if you're hungry, maybe apple isn't the best because it's more sugary. That'll wake you up more. Maybe a banana, it'll keep you more full. Again, I'm hungry, maybe a handful of almonds. So this way, you're a little bit more conscious about what you're eating. Again, I was not calorie counting. I was not, going out of my way to get like the most healthiest foods. I was just like, all right, man, listen, this is what's up. I eat a lot of rice, right? In the Persian household, you eat a lot of rice. I was like, let's make the rice a little bit smaller. Let's add a salad beside every meal, right? Instead of drinking pop with every single meal, how about I save pop for just like a Saturday night? And guess what would happen? When Saturday night would roll around and Sunday night would roll around, I would gladly have a pizza or have burgers and fries. You know why? It wasn't every Saturday night, but every once in a while, when I've been just kicking it and doing amazing Monday through Friday or sometimes Monday through Saturday, it was like, heck yeah, dude, I'll take that pizza. I'll take that burger with extra cheese and double bacon. Why? Because for me personally, I had just found that area of beauty where I felt good, I felt healthy, I was eating salads, I was drinking lots of water, I was eating well, I had a calorie deficit, and yet I still enjoyed it, right? And yet it wasn't like, oh, I can't have mayo because it's not that healthy fat. Like, no, but I enjoy having mayo. And me enjoying having mayo and enjoying having like a little bit of chocolate in the week, that's what kept me on this kind of lifestyle. Again, it's not a diet. I don't believe in diets. But what I do believe in saying, hey man, it's a Wednesday, it's the middle of the day, I'm probably not gonna have chips or chocolates. But on Saturday or something, yeah man, heck yeah, it's my weekend, go for it. So this is what I recommend, right? Be more conscious of what you eat. Don't go on a diet, they'll never last. Just design yourself a routine, a schedule, but remember, you're your own manager, you're your own employee. You set that routine, you set that schedule however you like. Try to abide by it and be reasonable. Again, if you drink pop 3 times a day, don't just say, all right, I'm done with pop now, it's gone. If you can go from 3 times a day drinking pop to once a day drinking pop, that's good. And then maybe go once every 3 days, and then go drinking pop once a week. And then if you want to eventually not drink pop anymore, my recommendations, go by it as a step-by-step process instead of throwing it all out the window. So anyways, I'm eating more consciously, right? I'm sleeping better. I'm drinking a lot of water. Like, I just keep a water bottle with me everywhere I go, whether I'm watching TV, whether I'm here studying, and this way it's in front of me, and I just keep drinking, and man, I would say I easily nowadays, I'm drinking how many cups of water? I'd say at least 4 cups of water a day. Yeah, at least 4 cups of water a day. Not to mention, this is also important, I'm working out. So I'm working out about 3 times a week. I'm doing lots of cardio, so sprints. I'm doing lots of sprints. I'm doing lots of jogging, lots of indoor biking, jump rope. And it's a culmination of all that together. Not to mention, we all have a median weight, right? So this is this weight that we are all going to naturally go towards. So my weight that I'm always going to naturally be towards is around 145. So it's easier for me, so when I got up to 166, to find myself back down to that weight, because that's my natural weight. Everyone's body, everyone's genetic makeup, you have a weight that is just easier to get to, whether that's higher, whether that's lower. So I'm drinking lots of water, I'm working out 3 times a week, I got the medium weight, not to mention metabolic rate, the rate at which your body, breaks down foods, digests foods, is usually high. And usually for a lot of young people my age, our metabolic rates are through the freaking roof. We can eat a Big Mac meal without gaining a pound. But if you're, if you're in your 30s, if you're in your 40s, that's gonna be different. So I'm sweating all the time. I'm working out 3 times a week. I'm drinking lots of water. But I'm still having, crackers and cheese on the weekend. I'm having, I just had like a pizza, last night or 2 days ago. And what I did for the first time in my life was I asked myself a very important question. I said, Daniel, just because you can eat the whole pizza, does that mean you're going to? So that's a huge thing too. Is like, can I eat this whole pizza? Of course. Would it be delicious? Of course. Am I going to? Absolutely not. Because I know how I feel afterwards, and I don't want to feel sluggish, and I don't want to feel lazy. And I've said this before, folks, but when you eat an avocado or a smoothie or something light, you feel amazing. No one's ever had an avocado and be like, I feel fat and lazy. But I always feel like that after like bacon or burgers or greasy fries or something like that. So yeah, that was crazy. Literally, like last week, I weighed myself and I was like 155. I was like, this is insane. I went from 166 pounds to 155 pounds, losing 11 pounds from when I weighed myself. That was late November of 2020 or early December 2020 until, now, just the early phases of when I'm recording this episode, January. So folks, this isn't just a, hey, I lost weight and you should lose it too. But this is more like a listen. If there's something that's really important to you and you really want to do it, change is instant, right? It was just coincidence that I did it now in January. It wasn't a New Year's resolution, right? It was just literally coincidence. And then 2, whenever you want to approach something, don't forget to take a step back. Like, the worst thing I could have done with this, and again, I wasn't even trying to lose weight. I was just trying to feel good again. I just felt so sluggish, dude. So the worst thing I could have done was been like, you know what, I'm eating terribly. I'm just going to work out 3 times a week and keep eating how I'm eating. It's really important to take a step back and be like, all right, well, nutrition is important, and sleep is important, and exercise is important, but also enjoying it is important. So I keep doing this consistently. Because if I completely cut everything out, again, you know how much you can handle. If like, yo, if not having a piece of chocolate in a week is going to make you abandon the quote unquote diet or the lifestyle, don't do it. Please have that piece of chocolate. Again, I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not a person who's big into this stuff. This is just my own world. This is what's worked with me. That doesn't mean it's going to work with you. Maybe you do everything that I just said and no success. This is not, I'm not saying, hey, it worked for me, so it's going to work for you. I'm making no said claims. This is a huge disclaimer. I'm not making any claims that you can lose 11 pounds by doing what you're doing. But I'm simply saying that what all started to be like, okay, I don't feel good. I feel sluggish and tired. And the way that I approached it, which looking at all the parts involved and making sure that I had fun the entire time and that I can continue what I'm doing for years to come, I think that is the way to approach everything, my friends. Approach everything slowly, approach everything with patience, approach everything by looking at the bigger factors, and whether that's a weight thing, whether that's a relationship thing, whether that's a work thing, I think that is the best way to carry yourself and to move forward. And that's how Daniel lost 11 pounds in 30 days. Yeah, and we'll keep seeing, I'll keep doing this, and I'll see. Like, I don't like being, my optimal, I don't like being over 155, but I don't like being under 145 either. So like, I want to try to get myself on that sweet spot of like 150. Again, this isn't everyone should try to lose weight, but this is just difficult things really aren't that difficult if you put your whole mind and body to it. And remember that early example I gave? Please don't go new regimen, never eating chips again, working out every day. That's the last thing you want to do, right? Can I work out once a week? If you've never worked out, baby steps. I promise you, if you do baby steps to whatever you're doing, you will see so much better results in the long term than if you just try to do it all right away. And that has been me preaching. Thank you very much for coming to the church. My name is Daniel Teaches. God bless you and take care. Seriously, everybody, thank you so much for watching this on YouTube. I seriously appreciate you subscribing and liking. It means a lot to me. And if you're listening to this on Apple iTunes and Spotify and all that good stuff, folks, if you have any questions or comments or any other topics that you would love me to get into, you can always DM me on Instagram, leave a comment on YouTube videos. I don't know if Spotify and Apple iTunes is going to make a comment section sometime. That'd be interesting. You comment that there if they did. But otherwise, you can reach me at Daniel Teaches literally almost anywhere, even LinkedIn. So let me know. Take care of yourselves, my friends, and stay safe. Bye-bye.